All right, Smoke Wagon 45 here. As we just talked about, if you watched the first video, talked about the new M14 Bula defense, which I'm going to be setting up for DMR. Got some more parts and pieces coming. Still got to get the scope ordered. I had it ordered, but they kind of dropped the ball on that. Primary arms, that is. It was in stock when I ordered it, but they sat on the order for a couple of days, and then, oh, lo and behold, it went out of stock. And they never emailed me or told me, hey, it's out of stock. Go find it somewhere else, I guess. But part two was talking about the 1911s. I always wanted a World War II 1911 Colt, 1911 A1. World War II. The 1911 is the World War I version. It's got more of a straight back strap, and some of the other parts and pieces are different. And this is the A1 version. Springfield Armory came up with this one several years ago. About 2006, I purchased this one. And if you watch the first video, this one has actually been involved in a self-defense use of force, where I did fire this weapon at another human being. We were held up at gunpoint. My partner and I were taking a shipment of cash and coin into a bank in Phoenix, Arizona, 2008. February 12th, 2008, about 11 a.m. And yes, this one has actually been fired in a self-defensive situation. Well, I never thought I'd get a real one, but that has since changed. This is a real USGI, and yes, all these weapons are empty. They've been checked multiple times, but I'll show you again. This is it's kind of a mutt. It's Remington Rand slide with Ithaca frame. I almost forgot Ithaca. There were several manufacturers: Colt, Remington, Rand, Ithaca, Signal and Switch. They made the biggest variety of them, most of them. The Singer is probably the one to get, but they only made 500 of them, and they're very costly. So several years ago, the CMP got a bunch of these, and they were going to put them out. And I had the paperwork all set to put it in, and I missed the deadline. You know, life happens, and I missed the deadline. So I didn't think I was going to get one. And oddly enough, a friend of ours from Rockford, Illinois, moved out here in June 2020, and she was remarried, and they were looking us up to try to find us because they knew that we were out here in the Phoenix area. So she did find us a couple of months ago, and we decided to have them over for Thanksgiving dinner. And I was talking to Doug about the guns and stuff, showed him my 1911, and he said he'd put paperwork in for CMP 1911, but hasn't heard anything yet, and didn't know if he was going to get one. So I don't know, about 5 days after Thanksgiving dinner, he calls me up. He says the CMP just called him. They want to know if he wants that pistol. He said all three varieties were available. he said he's gonna pass unless I wanted it. And I said, well, absolutely. He said, what one would you like? I said, the service grade, the highest grade, of course. And because they moved, it took him a little bit longer because he had to put more paperwork in for the address change. So about 2 weeks later, the pistol came in and we took it to the range. Fired beautifully. Wasn't so much worried about accuracy. I was just kind of more feeling the gun out and feeling how it cycled and kind of watching how he and my dad fired it, and put a bunch of rounds through it and not one hiccup. The funny thing was, the newer Springfield Armory 1911, I did have a couple of hang-ups. Did not cycle fully, put the round in battery. There's a couple that hung up on the ramp. Took that same magazine out with ammo, put it in this one, and it ran just fine. Could be, you know, the tolerances on the newer one are a little bit tighter, but this one had no problem. Again, now I've already have my packet information ready to go. My wife's like, why are you gonna put in for another one? I'm like, well, you never know. This is a very nice one. It looks like it's the original finish. I don't see, I've seen some of the other ones where they reparkerize them and they just sandblast the heck out of them. And all of the engraving marks are nice and clear and sharp. And to me, it does not look like it's been refinished. It looks like it is the original finish. Yes, I had my finger in the trigger, excuse me. But I believe it's the original finish. Like I said, it is kind of a mutt, being two different makers. So my thought is put in for the CMP, see if I can find maybe a reverse to this. That would be awesome. Or if not a complete reverse, maybe one of the other pieces on the second gun would be matching one of these, so that I can have a complete match, both frame and slide. And that's what I would prefer. Obviously, I'd want them to be in the same finish, so if one came through and it was refinished and the finishes didn't match, I couldn't do that. So I'd want one in the same finish. So what I was thinking more of doing is continuing to check the auctions, see if I can find exactly what I'm looking for, and maybe just buy one off the auction. But that's the 1911 A1 CMP. Like I said, did not expect to have this in my hands right now, and went for the M14, and then lo and behold, Doug gets pulled, his number gets pulled, he's up, he gets one, and now I'm holding a USGI World War II 1911 A1. Totally unexpected. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a costly month or so. Again, my wife thinks I'm crazy, but how can you pass on a USGI World War II 1911 A1? I couldn't do it. And to have the chance at getting another one to make a complete, matching 1911 A1, I gotta take that chance. Hopefully I don't forget to send my packet in when the deadline comes. But those are a couple of my new purchases. Looking forward to getting out and doing some more shooting. Ammunition is not the easiest to find, and I don't want to use all my stock up, so I'm trying to find some ammo so I can feed these things. It's kind of funny too, because the newer one feels looser than the original. I don't know if you can hear it. Maybe that's just in my right hand. Still, this one, it feels amazing. It looks amazing. I like it. Smoke Wagon 45 out. Merry Christmas to me. Merry Christmas to you.